Sunday is a big day. We have the NFL, we have the NBA, and we have college basketball. And I've already locked in a bunch of good plays I'm excited to share with you guys, including a play for LSU Georgia, right? So, the purpose of this YouTube, I say this all the time. If you have questions, comment them below. You can email us, you can reach out to us, is not only to give you guys winning picks that, make you money, but also to kind of explain to you the strategies behind profitable sports betting, right? This market is dynamic. Lines are always moving. OddsJam is literally processing millions of odds, updating them every single second. And the whole point is to show sports bettors where is value, right? So you see most handicappers kind of on the internet they have no skill set. They have no idea what they're doing. They just tell you, oh, Lakers +7 because LeBron looked good last night. It's incredibly stupid, and it's shocking that people fall for it, right? The entire point of OddsJam is using data, using real-time market data, odds, to make better betting decisions. So a tool I use frequently is called the OddsJam Arbitrage tool. So what this tool shows you is out of the millions of odds across sports books, you can see there's not that many plays, but what are the, opportunities where sports books are screwing up so big that you could place a bet on equal and opposite outcomes and earn a risk-free profit, risk-free money, right? So if this is confusing, you can see an example right here. LSU, Georgia. LSU is +760 next week, early college football lines, early line discrepancy against Georgia on FanDuel, +760 money line odds. On BetUS, they're only +480, right? So that's a pretty big discrepancy, +760 versus +480, right? And Georgia is -650. So when the plus number is bigger than the minus number, you can place a bet on FanDuel, on LSU, on BetUS, on Georgia, and earn a risk-free profit. And you got to be fast, right? This is like day trading. You got to move quickly. These great lines, they won't last forever, and you can make risk-free money arb betting. But what this also tells you is there's a big line discrepancy, right? So if you end up clicking into the odds, what you're going to notice is that FanDuel, they're the only sportsbook setting the point spread at 20.5, right? They have LSU as a +20.5 favorite, right? You can get them -115. Every other sportsbook is setting them as 17 point spread favorites. So you can see here, it's like, Caesars +500. It's an arbitrage bet to Caesars. We're getting incredible value on FanDuel at +1760. Caesars has the spread at ±15. FanDuel has 20.5. That's a 5.5 point gap. That's insane, right? Like, if you think about it, just think about how big these discrepancies are. So because sportsbooks have different odds, you can ruthlessly scan through the market and look for these spots where FanDuel's slipping up. So long story short, I ended up locking in LSU +20.5 for 172.40, which was the max I could. If you have questions, you can let us know. But it's just kind of rational sports betting. Even if you don't care about the math, it's like, okay, we have one sportsbook setting the line at ±15. Every other sportsbook is at ±17.5. And we're getting +20.5, right? If LSU loses by 17, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, or 20, right, which is another big number in football, 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals, we're winning the +20.5 on FanDuel. Everyone else is losing, +17.5, +15. So we found a play with value. Now, another play, as an example, another arbitrage bet I found is right here, right? Equal and opposite outcomes over 221 is -110 on WinBet. The under is +115 on Pinnacle, right? Pinnacle is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, the most efficient betting market. And you can see they're setting the over at -133, 23 cents away from WinBet. So this is a massive line discrepancy, right? So you can make a risk-free profit betting on the over on WinBet, the under on Pinnacle. You'd earn a risk-free profit. You only have to bet 110 on the over to win back 100. On the under, you can bet 100 to win 115. So it's a big, big, big line discrepancy. And what you're going to notice is like, wow, most sports books, they have this total at 22.5, 1.5 points higher, or they have it at 223. PointsBet, minus 107, minus 107. Pinnacle, minus 106, minus 106. So WinBet is 2 points off, 1.5, 2 points off from the rest of the market, right? And again, that may not seem like a big deal, but the truth is like when you're betting at minus 110 odds, so if I just go to an odds converter calculator, let me take a sip of my Corona. It's very late at night. When you're betting at minus 110 odds, you only have to win 52.38% of your wagers to break even. That's your break-even win probability, right? So long story short, I ended up locking it in, but we can go through the math a little bit more. So like, this is the sportsbook business model, right? They force you to bet 11 to win back 10 on the overs and the unders. You can see WinBet right here. Every spread, every total, minus 110. Bet 11 to win back 10, right? Like in this Cavs, Pistons game, these are equal and opposite outcomes. This game's going over 223 half, 224 or more points, or it's going under 223 or less points, right? So these are equal and opposite outcomes, but you have to bet 11 to win back 10. You're not betting 10 to win back 10. You're betting 11 to win back 10. So that extra dollar is kind of the sportsbook's leg up, the advantage on you, which is called the vig or the juice. So what, essentially, people get scared, right, because of the juice. They're like, oh, I can't make money sports betting. But the minus 110 juice, all it means is you need to win 52.4% of your wagers to break even. So if you're winning on spreads and totals, like a sharp better, 55% of the time, you're going to make money long term. The thing is most recreational bettors, they win 50% of the time on spreads and totals. So they lose money, right? Because they're not beating this 52.38% number. So picking up this extra, 2 points in value, 1.5, 2 points in value, that's what turns a bet from being unprofitable to being profitable. And it sounds counterintuitive, but not every bet wins, right? It's all about finding an edge, right? Enough value to beat that 4 to 5% vig the sportsbook charges. So you win in the long run, not the sportsbook. The sportsbook's business model is assuming you will win on spreads and totals 50% of the time because you don't know math, you don't understand the markets, right? If you win 50% of the time, the sportsbook makes money in the long run. Once you realize how to find these plays that are 1.5, 2 points off from the rest of the market, you're winning on spreads and totals 55% of the time, you're making money, right? So like here, you can see Pinnacle, they have the over 221 at minus 133. This is the sharpest bookmaker in the world. They have the over at minus 133. They have the under at plus 115. So if we put that into a no-vig odds calculator, what you're going to notice is, hey, the win probability for the over is 55.1%, right? So all this calculator does is it takes the sportsbook's market, it takes Pinnacle's market, and it removes the vig to tell you the true odds or the fair odds, right? So in this case, the fair odds are going to be minus 122.73. We're getting minus 110. So we're getting improvement to the fair odds, right? So sportsbooks charge a spread, you just remove it. And this will tell you the win probability for your wager. Obviously, because Pinnacle, they have the over juiced, they think the over is more likely to occur, 55.1%. So this calculator just quantifies it for you. And when you're betting, at minus 110 odds and you're winning your wagers 55.1% of the time, your expected value is going to be 5.19, right? So 5.19% return. We hit it for 1.1K. So our bet has $57 in profit margin. And again, if this is confusing to you, like you really got to put in a little bit of legwork. You can't be lazy about it to learn kind of these formulas, how the market works, stuff like that. We have so many tutorial videos. So the second play I locked in on WinBet is going to be Tennessee Tech plus 12.5 for the exact same reason. So that's the second play I locked in. So we have over 221 in the Heat game. We have Tennessee Tech plus 12.5. We have LSU plus 20.5. We can keep going. We have Portland State. Here's another example. Plus 128. Same concept, right? For 195.30. So here, every sportsbook offering plus 105 or plus 110. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 data points in the market, all telling us, yo, FanDuel's way off. By definition, we could place a bet on FanDuel, on Portland State, on Oregon State, on 10bet, DraftKings, or PointsBet and earn a risk-free profit. So we know one of these plays has to be profitable. Right? So I'm just taking the play on FanDuel because they're clearly the massive line discrepancy, clearly the play with an edge. You could also just arb these things, right, and make a risk-free profit. So if you wanted to, this game's a week away. Let's say you had $1,000 in your FanDuel account. You could arb it, make a risk-free profit of $146. You're just day trading sports due to discrepancies in bookmaker odds. So then I went with this play. And then the final play I went with is a play on Underdog Fantasy. So again, I'll be giving out a lot more plays on Twitter as well. Obviously, I can't make YouTube videos for every play, but I ended up locking in these 3 picks on Underdog Fantasy. So we've gone through the math kind of a ton of times, but when you're playing on Underdog Fantasy, they're giving you the implied odds of minus 122 when you're playing in a 3-pick or a 5-pick entry. So we just want to find value at minus 122. So you can see I have Underdog Fantasy selected on OddsJam, and I'm just on the positive EV betting tool. So all you want to do is look through the odds and look for value at minus 122. And here you can see DeAndre Hopkins under 7.5 receptions seems pretty great, right? Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they have that minus 148. Bet Online minus 147. DraftKings minus 155. Frickin' Caesars has it minus 179. So we use all the data in the market to be like, yeah, being able to get Hopkins under 7.5 receptions at minus 122 is incredible value. So I ended up locking in this as well. And again, I ride with you guys through all these plays. I highly recommend using the OddsJam bet tracker. You can see right here, right? Wins, losses. We had under 24.5 for Vanderbilt total points. Looks like they had 0. We had under 231 in Lakers Spurs. A bunch of bets. A lot of these given out on YouTube or Twitter through the losing streaks, through the winning streaks. I ride with you guys. It's all about finding plays with an edge and winning in the long run. And you can see here, we're doing pretty well in terms of net profit. I added all these plays I just locked in to my spreadsheet, so we have 4 picks that I locked in, plus 1 fantasy play, but I'm not tracking fantasy plays in my profit and loss. It said, since September here, no promos, no fantasy. Fantasy isn't sports betting, so when we started doing this, I didn't add it to the sheet. But you can see right here, we have 4 plays open. Hopefully you guys are able to tail some of them, and let's make money.